because we're fixing to bring to the stage Matthew Richerzhagen. Richerzhagen. Richerzhagen.
You good?
Yes, I get nervous sometimes too. Here's the thing, guys. Ambassador of hope. And we can just stop right there.
Yeah.
Who doesn't need more hope? More encouragement, right? Matthew's a speaker, author, and helps married couples crack the code on turning pain and problems into passionate marriage paradise. To me, it sounds like he's trying to replenish the earth. Neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. But we want you guys to listen, be inspired by his personal tragedy to triumph story so that you can face your life with hope and confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Mr. Hope, Matthew Richerzhagen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's been great being here with you today. So I'd like to start by telling a story about a man who was on a business trip kind of like this. And at the end of the day, he went for a walk and he went down to the wharf and he saw a man that was fishing at the edge of the wharf. And he was a fisherman and he was kind of curious. He watched the man and the man would cast out there and he'd reel in a fish and cast out there and reel in a fish. And as he watched him work, he was fascinated and he kind of ran over to the man and he says, "Sir, I'm a fisherman too, and I've never seen somebody fish like you. Can you tell me what the deal is?" And the deal was that he would bring in the big fish and he'd throw them back and he'd hold on to the little fish. And he says, "Sir, I've never seen that. I don't understand. What's the deal?" And the fisherman sat there and almost had tears coming down his face. And he said, "I want to keep the big ones. But the thing is, back home I just have a little bitty frying pan. And I can't keep the big ones." And I believe that there are people in this room, and it may even be you, who believe that back home you have a little bitty frying pan. And I'm going to share 5 things today to help you see life. And Jesus tells us if you can see right, you can be right. And this isn't a challenge. This isn't working harder. It's like if all the lights were turned off in this room and the sun was down and you flipped on the lights, you could see. And that's what I'm going to try and work on today. Every single person in this room wants the same 9 things. We all want to be healthy. We all want to be happy. We all want to be reasonably prosperous. We all want to be safe. We all want to be secure. We want to all have good family relationships. We all want to have friends. And we all want to have hope that the future is going to be even better. And the things that I'm going to share with you, I trust, will be a help and an encouragement. I want to motivate you. I want to inspire you, not for 1 hour, not for 1 day, not for 1 week. I want you to walk out of this room and look at life a different way. Because you can when you understand the truth. And honestly, when Jacob talked about this trophy, I was like, I want to win that trophy. Like you guys, I'm going to live my life how I live my life. Do your best. Pray that it's blessed. He'll take care of the rest. Like I got some stiff competition, so I'm just going to lay it out. So I want to talk to you about 5 things, and they go with the human hand. So I want everybody to raise your hand. Raise your hand with me. Okay, so we're going to go through 5 things. The first one is our pointer finger, okay? And our pointer finger, and I want you to say the word trust with me.
Trust.
Or sorry, focus. We all, see, it's after dinner, Johnny. Focus, sorry, not trust. Focus. Which finger is it? Focus.
This one was focus.
Yeah, because focus, you guys, where focus goes, energy flows. What you focus on is what you invite into your life. And a lot of people don't understand the alignment of the problems that they have, the challenges they have in their life. They're actually inviting them into their life because they worry about them, because they focus on them, because they think about. Whatever energy is in your life is what the seed that you're sowing. He talked about sowing seeds, Tracy Day did. Those are seeds that you're sowing and you're reaping in your life. Whatever you focus on is what you're going to have more of. And the thing is, you move in the direction that you're pointed. If you're pointed this way, if you're pointed towards the issue. You're going to move toward the issue. If you're pointed towards the exit door, you're going to move in the direction of the exit. And you don't want to do that. You want to focus on what's pure and what's powerful, what's positive. Because you guys all know this from experience. You can be, you come home from a day and you had 2 or 3 good things happen and you have 8 bad things happen. And you can still choose to have a good day by what you focus on. I remember as a young husband, I would come home from my day and I had a horrible day and everything was wrong. But I came home to my sugar baby and here's this beautiful, wonderful, incredible woman that I loved dearly, that I still love dearly. And I had a great day because all this doesn't make up. It's not like life is a balance. You have 51% good things, 49% bad. You had a good day. It's what you focus on. What you focus on, and you're 100% in charge of what you focus on. And you get to choose not only what you focus on, but the second thing is meaning. So raise your hands. The first word is focus. The second one is meaning. Now you'll notice your middle finger, and I did this intentionally because I didn't want to flip you the bird. The second finger is the tallest one. The most important story is the one you tell yourself. The most important thing that you're going to go through in life, and a couple of these ladies have shared so wonderfully about this, about our identity and our value. The most important story is the one you tell yourself, and you can go through any suffering, unbelievable sorrow, if it has meaning in your life. And I want to talk to you about making that meaningful, because you write that story. You're 100% in control of that story. So I have a marriage coaching practice, and I had a gal that she was working with me, and she had a problem. Her husband cheated on her. And these things are real. Like, these things are for real. Okay? And she called me, and she couldn't even complete a sentence. She couldn't communicate a whole sentence without breaking down. She was broken. And I'm talking to her and I said, God, what can I say to this woman? I don't want to just say a platitude. I want to be a help to her. I want to encourage her. I want to inspire her. I want to get down in that ditch with her and lift her up, or throw her a rope and pull her out. So I asked her this. I was like, what can I say? And I said, who do you think's in more trouble, you or him? And she's like, what? Who do you think is in more trouble, you or him? And she thought about it. She quit crying. She thought about it. And she said, I think he is. I said, I think you're right. And here's the thing. Because she reframed the story that she was telling herself, she went from being angry, which she was still hurt. Don't misunderstand me. There's still pain. But the suffering comes from the story that we tell ourselves. And she went from being mad and angry and bitter to wondering what in the world was wrong with him that he was so lost that he would go commit adultery. And as I talked to her, I helped her to understand her part in that. We're not talking about blame and responsibility and stuff like that. But when you own, this is where I showed up in this. It gives you see the beam in your own eye. It gives you grace to see the speck in another's eye. And it totally changed her life. And I want you all to walk out of this room today with a different focus and with different meaning. There's another story about a woman. She was in counseling and she was talking to the counselor. And he said, so how is it going? My husband doesn't love me. And the counselor said, really, how do you know? Well, my husband forgot my birthday. So here's an event, and this is the story. Okay, this is how we get into trouble as human beings. And the counselor said, it wasn't me. He said, I want to offer you another story. And she said, another story? Because we do this, but we don't realize we're doing it. Another story. How about this? Someone who loves you forgot your birthday. Someone who loves me, how could they forget my birthday? Are they okay? She instantly went from bitterness and anger and pain to concern and empathy. Is he okay? I wonder what's wrong. I wonder if he's okay. That's what happens in your life and mine when we change the story. I want to tell you a story of something that happened to me on March 8th of 2022. I was driving down US Highway 12 right outside of my town. I was in my own lane, minding my own business, going the speed limit. But there was a man who was about triple the legal limit in alcohol that was driving down the road at 105 miles an hour, headed in my direction. And he came whipping around the corner, and he was in my lane. He got back in his own lane, and we were coming down the road. He was in his lane, and I was in mine, and he turned into my lane. Bam, just like that, and hit me. And my life forever changed. I was trapped in a burning car. I almost bled to death. And I woke up in the hospital 5 days later, and I want you guys to understand this. I never asked why. I never asked God, why did you let this happen to me? How can you love me? Because I know He loves me. Right. I know He loves me because He sent His Son to die for me. That's right. And when you have that confidence that Tracy's been talking about, everybody's talking about, you're in alignment this way, you can show up to love and serve this way. I woke up in that bed and I knew that the accident wasn't to destroy me. It was to make me stronger, to make me a better man. And you can take whatever happens to you and you can tell yourself an empowering, powerful story, and it will literally change your life. It's so very important. Number 1 is focus. Number 2 is meaning. Number 3 is commitment. On our hands, most of us, some of us, have a wedding band on our 3rd finger. And I want to talk to you about commitment. So I think I went too fast. Everybody raise your hand and move your 1st finger and say focus. Focus. Next one's meaning. Meaning. Okay, this is commitment. Commitment. And here's the thing, my dear beloved brothers and sisters. You joined the team. You joined the company. You joined the marriage. You have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to show up and do your very, very best. My coach taught me, Coach Peck, when I was, 16 years old on the soccer field, he said, leave it all out on the field. Do your very best. When you come off that field, don't you have anything left to give. Do your best. The reason that we're in so much trouble is because people aren't pushing. People aren't pulling. People aren't doing anything. They're just sitting and vegetating and drawing off the system. And I don't just mean economically, emotionally, physically, socially. People are just drawing and drawing and drawing. The world needs you. And you have a responsibility to show up, to be the person that you said you were going to be. And I hear all the time people say, well, this is one I hear a lot. I'd be a better husband if it wasn't for my wife. I'd be a better wife if it wasn't for my husband. No, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to show up as your best self. And let me give you this quote that I got from from Dan Mohler, and it's this: never let where they aren't determine where you are. That's worth writing down. Never let where they aren't determine where you are. You have a responsibility. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. You have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to be the man or the woman that God has called you to be, to show up, to pull in the harness. To show up every day. I'm going to do my best. I don't care if my boss doesn't even come to work. I signed up on this job. I don't care if, whatever. Quit blaming other people, and we'll get to responsibility here in a second. So we've got focus, meaning, commitment. The 4th word is humility. And you'll notice if you hold up your hand, the lowest finger is your pinky, and it's for humility. And if you want to really grow and succeed in life, you have to be humble. You have to. There are 3 characteristics that make a great employee. They're hungry, humble, and smart. If you're not hungry, you're not going to get anything done. You're just going to, I got messages here, whatever. I got this game I could look at. You're not going to be invested if you're not hungry. Number 2, if you're not smart, you're going to do the wrong things. You're just going to forward emails, and you're doing all this stuff. You're having motion but no forward traction, no movement. Motion but no movement. But you know what? If you're not humble, you're going to destroy yourself. I had an employee who worked for me years ago, and he had over 100 employees, and he cheated everybody. He cheated his employees. He cheated his partners. He cheated the government. He may have even cheated on his wife. I don't know about that. He cheated everybody. The table was set up so that all the corners went to him. And it's so interesting that he lost everything. Not just half of his stuff. He lost everything. And you look at that and you're like, how is that? Because whatever you sow, you're going to reap. And if you want, thank you, Tracy Day. Woo! If you want a better harvest, you got to plant better seeds. And it really isn't that complicated. Life really isn't that complicated. It really isn't. Okay? So you got humility. The next one, human beings have an opposable thumb that allows us to grab onto stuff. Because if you don't have a thumb, I don't know if anybody's ever tried to grab onto things just with your fingers. It's not very effective. The opposable thumb is responsibility. Now there's an epidemic in our country. And it actually started in the Garden of Eden. And it's the word blame. And blame is like cocaine. It's addictive. And you feel like you're getting somewhere. You feel like you're doing something, but you're just poisoning yourself. And responsibility says, nope, this is my life. My life changed, completely changed when I said this mantra over and over and over, day after day after day, multiple times a day. My life, my feelings, my results are my responsibility. My life, my feelings, my results are my responsibility. I quit looking at the people out there. I quit looking at the people who are right next to me. And I started to say, who am I called to be? What is my commitment? Who did I say I was going to show up to be? I'm going to be that person. And I'm going to let go of everything else. And when I did, my life changed. And your life is going to change because your energy changes. And I talk to people all the time and they say, well, I can't really change anything in the relationship. I can't, I'm working with this person and I can't really, it's not up to me. They're the bad person. Well, I don't know if you guys remember high school science. And maybe you didn't have that. In my science class, we did. We had a triple beam balance. Does anybody remember triple beam balance? Okay, nice. Triple beam balance, you put something on this side and it moves the other side. You know what? In your relationships, any relationship, including marriage, if you change your side, it changes the equation. So quit telling me you don't have the power to change your equation and you change. Because it'll change everything. And I want to tell you a little bit more about my story. We've got focus, we've got meaning, we got commitment, we got humility, we have responsibility. I was driving down that road and I was hit by that drunk driver. And you know what? The guy who was going to rescue me was already on the way. He was already on the way. He was 4 hours late coming home from work. The drunk driver passed him. He came around the corner, and here was my car. And here I was, and the car was on fire. And this man climbed into the back of a burning car to save a man he didn't know. And the thing that is so cool to me is that man thinks I'm cool. And I said, you got this wrong. You rescued me. I didn't rescue you. And the thing is, when you elevate other people, like Tracy was talking about, like others have talked about, you lift yourself. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to love and to serve other people. He climbed in the back of that burning car and he put his arms underneath my shoulders and nothing happened. He couldn't move me. And the flames were like 8 feet tall. I got from a witness that was the third car back behind me. And he realized that I was going to die in that car. And the airbag, the passenger airbag, thank God my wife wasn't with me. It exploded because of the flames. And this man said, God, help me get him out of here. And my guardian angel lifted me over the seat and put me in the back seat. And there's a whole, I have a whole story, and I actually have a gift for each one of you, which is a publication here in Chicago, actually, heard my story, and they said, we'd like to publish your story. And I said, yeah, of course, because my story is his story. The thing is, I want you to walk out of this room and to look at life differently. It's not about what's happening to you. It's not what people are doing to you or not doing for you. It's what seeds are you sowing? What are you planting? What are you looking for? And I want you to go out and live for the world with all your heart. The world needs your eyes. It needs your vision. The world needs your mouth. It needs you to speak love. The world needs your heart. It needs your empathy. People are hurting all around us. I was so touched to see some tears while other people were speaking. The world needs your hands. And I want you to stand with me right now. I want you to stand with me. Before we can get going, we got to get up. So everybody get up. And I want you to commit with me that you're going to go on in life. And you're going to look at life differently. You're going to focus on what's positive. You're going to tell yourself an empowering story. You're going to commit to do the right thing. Always do the right thing. You're going to walk in humility. And if you don't walk in humility, by times the Lord humbles us and it hurts. And He's faithful, and that's good. And to take responsibility for your own life and live it for Him. Thank you very much.